So thanks for joining. I appreciate that. We're going to be doing rentals and referrals in Skyslope. So it'll be a quick training. It's not going to take long at all. I just want we have a lot of questions on how to handle rentals or referrals in the system. So I thought I would just do a quick video and show you guys how to do this. So the website is skyslope.com. You're going to use the same website for any type of transaction, whether it's a listing or a buy side, which is a transaction. Also, your DigiSign, which is your electronic signature, is in skyslope.com as well. If you have any questions on logging in other words, login or password, make sure you contact your office manager. I'm going to do a quick show of this section here where it says test agent. If you click on your name, click on my account. Just want you guys to be aware. This is where you can update your information. This is also where you can allow your TC to have access right here. The notifications, if you wanted to be notified on certain things, this is where you're going to select. Okay, so to select it, you just click on the circle. If it's showing maroon, that means it's been selected. Okay, so you will get notified on these types of tasks, okay, or notifications, sorry about that. Signature, if you wanted to send something through email, in other words, maybe you have a document, you're sending it to someone's email through Skyslope, this is where you could put your signature. Maybe you have a picture or something like that that you want to put in. Again, it's an email signature, and it's not for campaigning, it's not for anything like that, it's for a very simple send through Skyslope. Change password, if you want to change your password, maybe it's been assigned to you and you just would rather have something you can remember. You do have to have the old password, and you can type in your new password and then click on save to confirm. Directory is for anybody, any contacts that you're saving in the system. So if you're using DigiSign, if you're putting in contacts tab in transactions or listings, this is where it'll be stored. You can also delete them at any time. Click on the ones that you want to remove and delete the contact. It's going to ask you, are you sure? And just go ahead and click on delete, and it'll remove that contact. So it's a nice way to keep it clean. Integrations does not go with us, so we don't have integrations, so we're not going to use integrations. All right, so I'm going to go back to the main screen and let's get going on our rentals. If you click on the logo in the top left-hand corner, that will bring you to your main screen. Anywhere in your, whether you're in listings or transactions or archive files, if you click on the logo at the top left, it will always bring you back to this screen. All right, so for rentals and referrals, you're just going to click on create transaction. Search for the address. Again, it's a Google search, so you could type in an address, locate the address down below. I'm going to pretend that we don't have it in Google. So right here, the red asterisks, these are all required, just like as if you have a buy-side transaction. You do have to have the red asterisks filled out. So that's usually, whoops, let me get rid of that. That's usually where the stress is, trying to figure out the information that's needed that may not really be applicable for rentals, but you still have to do it. Right over here, it says checklist type. Again, depending on your brokerage, over here in Las Vegas, we use referral and we use rental side, tenant side. So if this is tenant side, I'm going to select NV rental tenant side. I'm going to put in a street number, street name. I'm going to put in a zip code. It will auto-populate city, zip for me. Oh, and the state. Right here, sales price. What's the rental price of this? So if it's $2,500 a month, that's what you would put in here. The year that it's built, say 2018. Select the source. How did you receive this particular lead? Maybe it was just a previous customer, something like that, okay? Right here, office lead. Was this a lead from the office? Did we give you this lead? Okay. Closing date. When do you expect for the client to be moving in? Say June 1st. Acceptance date, let's say today their application was accepted. Okay. Remember, you have 48 hours to get your documents to your broker. Select the type. Okay, so here's my red. This means I'm missing something that's red asterisk. Right here is what I'm missing. It says the type. So I'm going to choose purchase tenant. Click on next. Right here in contacts, this is the very biggest question that we get. So on rentals, it's got seller, purchaser, tenant, title, escrow. It doesn't always apply in rentals or referrals, but you still have to put something in here. Okay, so if you know the owner's name, you can put the owner's name in. If you don't know the owner's name, type in NA. You have to put something where the red asterisk is. Hit save. Okay, and then you've got your green check mark. So we're moving on to the purchaser tenant. This should be your tenant or your client's name. Okay. Again, you can hit save at the bottom or save at the top. They're the exact same thing, nor do I know why it's there, it just is. Title, escrow, attorney. Again, when you have a rental, again, I highly recommend going down to the escrow section. Okay. Closing officer, I usually put in rental, phone number. You can put your phone number. Escrow company, rental. And then I usually put my email. Okay. And then again, you've got save at the top and you've got save at the bottom. Okay, so you want to put in something in these red asterisks, even though escrow is not applicable in this, you do need to put something in there. Escrow company could be rental, put your email in. You've got your green check marks here, because remember, you only have to fill out one section. Agent representing the other side. Who's the listing agent for this particular rental? We're going to say Bob Smith again. And let's say he's with Signature Real Estate Group. Okay, and then I'm going to hit save. Now I've got my green check marks. Okay, and then I can hit the word submit because I have all my green check marks. If I don't have my green check marks over here, the word submit will not appear. Commission. Oh, this is something new, interesting. Okay, so commissions. It's a flat fee most likely. So if you're receiving $300 on the tenant side, you would put in the flat fee instead of a commission percentage. Okay. All right. Once you're done, you're going to click on submit. Let's move forward. Right here, it tells you exactly what you need. You need a direct deposit commission disbursement form. For those of you who don't know what that is, I'll show you at the end, but also Ashley is going to be doing a full training. Ashley Pay. She's the one that submits your checks and deposits them into your bank accounts. So it's really important that you fill that out correctly. The point of that document is so that way you are acknowledging exactly what should be deposited in your bank. Because we are direct deposit, it's very important that you make sure you fill it out correctly. MLS leased status. So you do need to wait until the listing agent has changed that to a lease status. How do you get your documents in there? You can have a couple of options. You can click on the word attach, click on upload document. I'm just going to pretend I've got something here. Let me find my training docs real quick. I'm just going to throw something in there. Again, this would be your commission disbursement form. Okay, and then it will automatically submit it for review. You're going to do the second thing for MLS leased. Okay, and each document gets submitted to the compliance department for you. You don't have to submit your full transaction. You don't have to submit anything. It does all the work for you. Here's your closing packet. This is the commission check that comes in. So you don't need to do anything with that. That's something for admin to take care of. You don't have to worry about anything there. Okay. Your documents, of course, these are your documents. If you wanted to store more documents, you're welcome to do so. Maybe you have some other documents with this. Usually with a tenant side, you do not want duties owed, do not use duties owed, things like that. So keep that in mind, but this is where your documents are stored. They're also in your checklist. If you wanted to preview them, all you would have to do is click on the paperclip. The log shows you what's been done in this particular transaction, what's happened here. Okay. Tasks, if you want to set any tasks for this particular rental, you can set up a new task. Maybe you need to be reminded. Again, rentals are very easy. A lot of this is not applicable. However, the biggest thing is trying to get through the transaction section, trying to get through the contacts. That's a big one because escrow does not apply. And then the commission. So, and that's why I'm doing this training, because these are the big questions that we usually get all the time on rentals. So the referrals are going to be exactly the same. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Just a reminder, when this is reviewed, this will be green and it'll tell you it's been checked off. Let's see if I can do that real quick in my other screen here. 5252. So I'm going to review this real quick. If it's been rejected, sometimes if you're putting just a regular MLS, maybe it's under contract, that's what would cause you to be incomplete. So if you have incomplete here, you need to make sure you update the new one. You can either upload a new one, a correct one. Let me actually send this email real quick so you can see it. Let's see, I'm going to update agent here. Let's see. Now I'm going to attach a new one just so you can see what it looks like. Anytime you correct it and put a new document, whether it's transactions, listings, rentals, referrals, it all does the same thing here. It's going to just resubmit it for review. Okay. All right. And if you, this is a big question as well. There's no X sitting here anymore, so you can't really remove it. If you click on the paperclip, it just means your documents are stacked up here, and you can remove the old one by clicking on the X if you choose to do so. It'll also show you how many times this particular document has been opened or viewed. Okay. Right. Let me go back here. Let's see if my email came in. It has not. I'll hopefully show you guys by the end of the, oh, here it is. This is what you'll see when your compliance division is reviewing your files. You'll be able to see if it's accepted or rejected. You also can send the document straight through DigiSign through this particular screen. Maybe you're missing an initial or a signature. You can click on that and send it straight out. All right, going back to transactions here. I will also show you the listing side. Maybe you have a rental listing. I can show you that here shortly as well. I just want to show you a referral coming in as well. So you would click on create transaction. Again, you can search for the address. If it doesn't apply, I'm going to type in none again right here for your checklist. NB referral. Why am I specifying this section? This is what's determining your checklist items that you have to provide for your brokerage. So keep that in mind. You do, selecting the right checklist will make a big difference, because those are the documents that are going to be required or not required. So let's say referral, you know that it's sold for $245. Year built, let's say 2015. Select the source. Farming, let's just do that. Office lead, no. Closing date, we're going to estimate July 14th. Acceptance date. Okay. So that can be your referral date if you like. Don't get hung up on these dates, okay? And your closing date can be changed. So please don't get hung up on those dates. That's another thing with referrals. You can look at this. I almost missed this again. So type. What type is this? I'm going to say other or referral. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click on next. We are back to this fabulous page that everyone loves, everybody. Okay, so right here, seller landlord, of course, you don't know because this is a referral. If However, if you have a closing packet that came in, it will have, well, if the other brokerage is kind, they will be sending you the closing package, like the final HUD. I don't mean the package, but the final HUD. That will give you some information as well. If not, just type in NA and click on save. Every once in a while, you'll have a brokerage that will do that. All right, purchaser tenant. This is, let's say, your client. Let's do, typing in my client's name, save. Title escrow, again, I'm going to go down here to the escrow company section. Let's do referral. Type in a phone number. You can put your phone number in if that works best for you. Referral is going to go right here in this escrow section. Type in your email and go ahead and hit save. Okay. That will get you past that section there. That one's a tricky one. Agent representing the other side. Okay. Who was the referring agent? Or who is the recipient agent? Either way. I'm going to go back with Bob. Signature Real Estate Group. Okay, so your agent representing the other side is either going to be, depends on whether you're receiving the referral. Actually, no, it will be you receiving the referral amount. So you're referring it to another brokerage. That's the only way this would work. Sorry about that. So agent representing the other side is who you're referring this to. Okay, I'm going to click on submit, because if you're getting an outside referral, you should be creating a full transaction. You should be, or a full listing, depending whether it's a listing referral or a buyer's referral. So keep that in mind. If you're getting someone referred to you, you should have a full process, listing, transaction, not just a referral tab. Okay, sales commission. Maybe you're supposed to get 35% of the commission. Okay, you can do that. If you have a flat fee, you can also put in the flat fee. Maybe that applies. I'm going to go ahead and put 35% anyways. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. This is asking, this is a new section asking if your brokerage holds the earnest money. It does not apply to us here in Las Vegas. Go ahead and hit submit. Checklist. Okay, so this is what your checklist looks like for a referral. Notice it's very similar to your rentals. You do your referral agreement. That's what you're going to upload. Referral agreement should look like, let's see here. Sorry if you guys already know this. I just want to make sure that anybody who's on that might be new may not know this. This is what a referral agreement looks like, okay? If you have questions on filling this out, make sure you contact either your office manager or your broker. It's fairly easy to do. You just got to make sure you have your referring and your recipient broker in the right spots, okay? All right. So that's what a referral looks like. I'm going to go ahead and attach direct deposit commission form. Remember, that's the same thing for the other one. This breaks down your commission that you're going to be receiving, the money that goes in your bank account. Okay, so we've got it submitted for review, okay. All right, so that is referrals. Again, the same thing with documents. Maybe you have extra documents in here. You can upload them into this section. This is the same way as if you're doing a transaction or a listing. You just upload document right here and pull it in. Okay, when I do my other trainings on transactions and listings, things like that, I go into a little bit more depth on this section. But because we are just doing rentals and referrals, this is a very quick tutorial on which checklist to use and what type of documents go in here. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to the main page. I'm going to show you if you have a rental listing, you're going to go into, this is a big deal because this is probably, let me find my pen here, the biggest mistake that we have. If you have a listing, you need to create a listing. Even if it's a rental, you need to create a listing. If you're listing the property, it's under your name, that's where it goes. If you, it's just tenant side, then it is create transaction. This is buy side, this is your listing side, so it's really important to do that. Okay, let me remove those. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and click on create listing. It's gonna ask me to enter the information. This part's fairly easy because it does walk you through all of this. So right here, property address, if you start typing in a property, again, it'll be a Google search. You can select it from the drop down. I like to put in documents or my own stuff because I don't want to confuse compliance. They're thinking it's a real transaction and I've got random documents in there. So I'm gonna be kind to the girls here. I'm gonna click on switch to manual entry. This means you're typing in the property manually. Okay, so again, it'll pull in the city, state, and the county for you once you put in the zip code. Right here, this is a big deal. This is, again, one of the big points in when you're creating this, because you can select the wrong checklist and then you're scrambling trying to figure out what kind of paperwork you do. So the checklist is very important. Make sure you select NV rental listing if this is what applies. How much is the property listed for? So let's just say it's listed for $2,000. That's the rental price. Listing commission. So we could put to switch to flat rate. I'm gonna say we're gonna do $350 on this side. And the sales commission, I'm doing flat rate because it's not a percentage. And I'm gonna put in $300. Why is it not letting me? Let's see. There we go, that's why. There we go. Okay, so here's my flat rates. And it wasn't letting me because I had still been under percentage, so FYI. If there's somebody that's co-listing agent on this, this is where you would add them here. I'm gonna go ahead and go to next question. Listing date, when's your rental listing? Let's say today. Again, 48 hours to provide your broker with paperwork, okay? Expiration date, let's say it's gonna expire on February 25th, and then click on next. What year was this property built? Let's do 2013, click on next. Source of the deal, maybe it was a personal referral. Okay. Next, you'll notice these are all very similar to the buy side or the tenant side. The questions are very much the same because it's filling in the information for you. It's just walking you through it instead of having red asterisks everywhere. That's really the big difference here. Lastly, who's selling the property? So who's the owner? This is important. You should know who the owner is. We're gonna go back with our John Doe guy. If it's a company, so in other words, if it's a trust, you need to change this to switch to company seller. This is where the trust name would go, okay? Personal seller, it's fine to leave their name. Also, if there's two owners, you would add an extra owner. Okay. If there's three owners, you would add an additional. I'm gonna click on next. Okay, it's asking, does this look right? It looks right to me. I'm gonna go ahead and create my listing. If you do a Google search, it will bring up a photo. Just be advised of that. And it may not be the MLS photo, just because the Skyslope is not synced with MLS. So be aware of that. It might be a Google search. Just make sure it's the right home. You want to make sure you're good to go on that. So it just might look different from your professional photos. Okay, so duty zone right here. If it is a rental listing, you are required to have a duty zone, okay? So you do need to have that, and you should have a listing agreement. The listing agreement needs to be signed by your owner, by the broker, and by you, okay? So keep that in mind. You do have to have a listing agreement. Make sure you fill it out accordingly to your rental. Also, if you have any questions on how to do that, make sure you contact your broker directly. He'll be happy to walk you through it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on attach. Again, I'm gonna go fairly quickly on uploading my documents. I go into details more on showing you other options on how to get documents in here, because there's about 3 ways to get documents in here. But this is just a quick way to know how to put a referral on, or a rental, excuse me. Okay, so I've got my document submitted for review. Remember, if I go into 635, oh, I've already moved it over, 6354. So this would be green if it's approved, and purple if it's incomplete, okay? So that is it, that is referrals. If you have your listing rental and you've got an accepted contract, in other words, an application from a tenant, you would just click on accepted contract. This moves it to the transaction side, and then we gotta go through the whole process again because, excuse me, excuse me, I'm sorry. We have a whole nother process. This screen looks familiar because this is the buy side, okay? It's exactly the same, you just have to fill it out accordingly. Here is your tenant side. This does apply to you. This applies to you because you should have the application, and you should be able to have the paperwork from the buy side. A nice tenant side, excuse me. So they are renting it for $2,000 like we asked. It's not an office lead. We're gonna have them move in on the 15th here. Acceptance date, we're gonna say today. And we can leave that. So we've got everything in red, good to go. You'll notice right here, this will auto-populate for you. Listing sold landlord, leave it the way it is, don't touch it. And then let's go to the next. And then you have this fabulous page again, this contacts page that everybody loves. Here's my purchase tenant. You should know what the tenant's name is, okay? So let's go to Barbara Jones, and we're gonna hit save. Title, escrow, again, here we go down to the middle. We're gonna do rental, rental, and rental. Oh, enter an email. I'm going to type in my email and save. Oh, I spelled my name wrong, but that's okay. Next one is agent representing the other side. In other words, who's the agent representing the tenant? I'm going to go back with Bob. And we're going to put a phone number in. And we're going to say he's with Signature Real Estate Group. Of course, it would be you. If you are representing the tenant, maybe you found a tenant for your property, that would be you, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and click on submit. We're going back to the other side here. And we've got our commissions already put in for us, so we don't need to do anything. Click on submit, and now we have our checklist. Now it's gonna ask you for your direct deposit commission. That's important, you do need to have that. So you're gonna break it down. A lot of times the owners will pay with just one check. So they would probably write a check for $650, okay? So then you need to split in the direct deposit commission form how much you're getting as the listing agent and how much needs to go to the other brokerage for the tenant side. Keep in mind, if we are paying an outside broker, you do have to have their brokerage W-9, okay? So we don't pay them unless their W-9 is uploaded. And actually, it looks like I need to add that section in here. So I'll probably add that, okay? Again, you can attach your documents and then that's completely it. You don't have to do anything, it submits it for you. Not sure, anybody have any questions, concerns on rentals or referrals? Again, I'll have a more extensive training this month. I've got a couple more coming out for transactions and listings, and it will be a little bit more in depth on all these little tabs. I just want everyone to make sure they have the right checklist, and then this contacts tab is a doozy when you're trying to do your rentals and referrals. So, okay, I'm going to show you what a direct deposit commission form looks like, and then we are good to go. So direct deposit commission, there's two ways to do it. I've got it in templates in DigiSign. So that means you can sign it right away while you're doing it. Let's just go there. I always go to working docs, but let's go. Let me go to templates up here. I am going to look for my direct deposit. Oh, I must have deleted it. All right, that means I have something to correct. We're gonna go back to working documents here. So disregard DigiSign for right now. I must have cleared out my template. Click on working docs. I will get that in there though. Right here under office docs up here, click on Las Vegas. Again, it will be different for each brokerage. Direct deposit commission form. If you click on it, you can download it. It is fillable. You can type in your information. So I'm going to say test agent. What's your percentage or what's your share? So if this is, let's say, I don't want to actually fill this out without Ashley, but you could do other deduction is for the other agent. So your total commission is $650. Transaction fee on a listing is $50. On a tenant site is 10%, FYI. So let's, oh, this is where it would go. Bear with me. And then payable to, and it could be Signature Real Estate Group, it could be the other brokerage name. Okay, so then my amount that I'm actually getting should be $300. Then you would sign it. You're going to put your information. The total commission is $650. Okay. So Ashley will actually be doing a full class on this to make sure everybody is aware, because she's going to, like teams are a big deal. You got to make sure you put your splits in correctly, things like that. So this is what it looks like. This is why it's important to fill it out. This total due is what will be deposited into your bank account. And so it's really important that you guys have that correct. Because if you take the full $650 and we deposit that in your account, and then the other agent comes back to us asking where the money is, guess who's going to be responsible for paying that? So it's a big deal. Make sure your stuff is correct on your direct deposit. All right, that's it for listings and, I'm sorry, for rentals and referrals. I'm going to post this on the Agents of Signature Facebook page. This will be under units, under software webinars. So all of the training this month from all of the staff will be in there as well as we go along each time. Today we have Chris Bishop teaching a purchase agreement class. His is at 2 p.m. So purchase agreement, that class will be today at 2. So highly recommend that. He has a master series that he does for the month. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your time. I hope this helped a little bit and cleared up a few questions. Thanks for everything and have a wonderful week.